the past 98 years, the Winchester Mystery House has puzzled paranormal experts, mediums, and even master magicians.
Do you believe in ghosts and haunted houses?
She thought the spirits remained.
They came looking for evidence of the unexplained, and they continue to come till this day.
Spirits usually don't get mad anymore.
This fall, the Winchester Mystery House will once again host these experts, but they won't be alone. Celebrate All Hallows Eve and get lost in the house on a paranormal investigative adventure at Winchester Mystery House.
This year's All Hallows Eve event at the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California, opens this Friday, September 10th. This year marks a deviation for the event, though. Where they usually take guests through sets and stories, this year they're flipping the event on its head. But why? Coming up on today's show, the backstory behind this year's event. From the Haunted Attraction Network, I'm Philip, and this is day 8 of our 61-day Hauntathon, counting down to Halloween. Today is Wednesday, September 8th, and there are 53 days until Halloween. The best way you can support us this Halloween season is by sharing our Hauntathon with someone you think will enjoy it. And to follow along with our Hauntathon, sign up to our weekly newsletter at hauntedattractionnetwork.com. And now, back to the Winchester Mystery House. I'm going to play excerpts for you from the panel presentation at this year's Awaken the Spirits convention. In it, you'll hear the creative team discuss how they arrived at this year's theme. The North Star that guided all of this year's design was one simple question. That question is,
what happened if we had investigators and guests lost in the house?
I personally am very scared of being lost in a strange space. And when I first went through Winchester House with Michael, one of the things I kept thinking about over and over again was, oh wow, if suddenly Michael, doesn't know where he is, we could be in here for days. Like, it's complicated and incredible, and it is a natural feeling to play off of as well. And so again, these were themes that we were looking for the show, things that were natural fits for the house and things that let the house be the star as well.
So I'm going to share with you a little clip that we produced that kind of give you a little sneak peek into some of what you're going to see in this year's production. Play clip number 4.
Happy Halloween, boys and ghouls, and welcome to the world-famous Winchester Mystery House. That house beside me began as an 8-room farmhouse bought by the widow Sarah Winchester in 1884. It then was built for about 40 years until her death in 1922. It has endless maze-like hallways, stairs to nowhere, and doors that open to certain death. The Research Institute for the Paranormal has been given exclusive access tonight to investigate the strange happenings at the house that spirits built. Come on.
Sarah, are you with us? This is Winchester. You're with us. It's Bob's here with us. Whoever's here with us.
Sean and I are going to the oldest part of the mansion right now.
Here.
Whoa. That door just opened on its own, I swear.
Yeah, that was close when I walked by it.
So yeah, that's our paranormal investigation team in action. And so we had a few main goals when setting up this show before I even started writing the script. One was that we want the tour groups to be in the house at the same time as a paranormal investigation team. The other was that everybody's going to get lost. The tour group, the tour guide is going to get lost, and the paranormal investigation team is going to get lost. So nobody knows where they're going. And then the other thing that was a big goal for us was to set up an atmosphere that was very creepy, very unnerving. We wanted, if you go on this tour, we want you to feel like there's something right over your shoulder, like you just saw something out of the corner of your eye, but you're not quite sure. We wanted to really set up that kind of creepy atmosphere and then build on it as the show progresses. And then, of course, Michael and I really wanted to try to have a couple good jump scares in there. That's our personal goal.
Oh yeah, using a lot of sound and lighting effects. There are some pretty big, special effects in the show too that I won't divulge now, but they're pretty wow effects. We're working with a number of partners, but again, the goal of the show was really to make the house a star. So, how do we bring the Winchester house to life and have it breathe and, essentially live and kind of come to life during this experience. So something we're certainly very, very excited about being able to present to our guests this year.
And then as far as the process for actually writing the script, personally my process is very research intensive. I do a lot of research first, and then I become very immersed in listening to a lot of creepy music and watching movies and TV shows and reading horror short stories. I get very immersed in whatever I'm having to write. And so there were a lot of different, luckily Michael is also a big horror nerd, so we were back and forth a lot about different sources of inspiration. We'd see something in a movie or TV show or even a picture of something and we'd say, how could something like this work in the show? We'd really like to add something like this. And so some things for me, I played a lot of horror video games over COVID quarantine, and so I couldn't help but be inspired by some of that and work some of that into the script, stuff like Silent Hill 2 and Phasmophobia, where you are a ghost hunter.
We're both big Halloween and horror fans, and with me it's a lot of podcasts, movies, just things that that inspire me, a lot of books. And as we kind of started fleshing this out, we'd have these calls and, oh, have you seen this yet? Have you seen that yet? And no, and we're, oh, check this clip out. And so really kind of we had the bones of the story built, and it was really kind of how to amplify that and look at things that inspired us and things that scared us, and almost not like kind of what we typically avoid, like the blood and gore, that you see in some shows and haunts. My favorite is like the older movies, like the original Haunting of Hill House, or the Haunting with Vincent Price, where it's more what you don't see that's scary, than the monster kind of chasing you through the halls. Like those things are kind of funny to me. I actually laugh at those. But the stuff that's creepy is the kind of stuff that, those late nights at the house, last year, where you turned the flashlight and you're not sure if you saw a shadow or if it was just you or you're just paranoid or what. So really kind of how to make that, it's easy to do in a film, it's harder to do in real life. And I think, we're doing a pretty good job at it this year, where we can really kind of bring that to life and put you in that sort of movie. As we wrote the script, it really kind of plays out like a film. So that was actually very exciting to see.
Yeah, it starts it's just another night on a tour, just a normal Winchester tour. And then, things start to get a little sticky for the investigators, and it just builds from there, very cinematic, I think, for sure.
Yeah, I think our guests are going to really, really enjoy what we're sitting in and being able to be part of it and kind of being interactive with it. And again, we're taking people through parts of the house that we typically don't take them to at night. We're going in the basement, which is my favorite part. If you've ever been to the Winchester Mystery House, Sarah Winchester had these two basements, both of them creepy as hell. Just your typical, what you would imagine to be like a crazy haunted house basement, with brick-lined walls and these long corridors that disappear into nowhere, and just really, and I've always wanted to use that basement. We typically don't do it because we have pipes and you have to put on hard hats, but that was my ask of our tourist team was, hey, I want to make this happen this year, so let's work that out in the tour where we can actually have our guests go to the basement, give them a really cool experience. So super excited that we get to do that this year. And really kind of a disorienting sort of route where you won't really know where you are. And then of course the element of darkness makes that all the more creepy.
Yeah, part of writing and creating a story like this, it's an incredibly unique experience at Winchester because of the rooms and the setting that you already have. And so when we would come up with ideas, sometimes those ideas would be just based on a room. Like one of my favorite rooms are the conservatories. The Gothic romantic in me can't help but love an interior conservatory with plants and glass windows. And so when I first saw the conservatory, that was like, for me, I was like, well, something has to happen here. And so sometimes you're inspired by the room or the space and you want to make something incredible in their work and work with the story. And other times, like there's a certain effect we want to do or something with one of the characters, and then we have to figure out where in Winchester is this going to have the most effect, which room, which space, and it sounds challenging, but it's actually really fun, and I think it adds so much to the story.
Yep, definitely. And we're working with a number of partners, Paintscaping, which is a local company down here that does amazing projection mapping. They've done the front of our house, which you'll see soon. They're also going to be doing some stuff for us inside the house. Straight to Hail Productions, who's a local group as well, who's doing a lot of our mechanical props and effects. We have a few local artists up in Northern California that are helping us out as well. How many of you are familiar with Hollywood Haunters down here? Christopher Leslie, maybe? No? They do amazing work, and they're going to be doing some production elements for the house as well. So really we're working with a number of partners. Debbie Katz Productions, who's helping produce our outdoor event this year, which I'll talk about shortly. So a lot of little elements are really going into kind of having a blowout show. We lost 2020 a little bit, we will do a little bit, but 2021 we're hopefully going to get back into the swing of Halloween. And the goal for us is to become kind of the home of Halloween in the Bay Area for this season. We have this 4.5-acre estate that we're gonna activate and bring to life and offer a ton of experiences for our guests to visit.
So this year, Michael, you want to talk a little bit about the exterior of the house and what's going on outside?
Yeah, so a couple years ago, we went to New York and we saw a show called The Great Jack-O-Lantern Blaze, or maybe known as just Blaze. And it's really this cool outdoor show with amazing vignettes and scenes made with jack-o'-lanterns, carved jack-o'-lanterns, some of them real, some of them artificial. And I was super impressed by it. It was just an amazing experience and just beautiful with lights and sound, and it was at night. And I thought to myself, wow, this is something that might play really well with us. For the last 3 years or so, we've been playing with some outdoor activations. We always done the house tour, a house experience, but I really wanted to find a way to activate the estate. Again, we have 4.5 acres, these gardens, beautiful, but also kind of creepy at night, and the kind of the perfect setting for doing something more. So the past couple of years, we've done like a Mystic Midway and added a few things here and there. But this year, we really wanted to kind of blow it out of the park. So we have we opened up an axe throwing activity a couple of years ago, so we have that going on. We just opened our Houdini Spirited Escape challenge room, which will be open as well. And we're activating the outdoors of the estate with some scenes and vignettes from Debbie Katz Productions based in New York. So we're bringing all of that to life. It'll be kind of more of a family-friendly layer to what we do at the house. So, we'll still have the scares and chills and thrill of the mansion tour, but also a nice outdoor, family-friendly, photo-friendly experience for our guests to really kind of spend a few hours at the estate and immerse themselves in all things Halloween for this September and October.
Do you have a clip number 5? I think we're on 5.
Jack-o'-lanterns grins meet hallways of frights lies an all-new experience on Halloween nights. Get lost in the house. A nighttime tour of the dark and dizzying hallways of the cursed Winchester estate. Stroll the jack-o'-lantern trail and marvel at the handcrafted lighted garden displays. Tickets available now at winchestermysteryhouse.com.
So, as Michael was saying, I think what was really important to us this year, coming out of a pandemic, was, to have a little bit of something for everyone, because everyone missed Halloween last year. I have 3 kids. We all have little ones. All the pumpkin patches were closed. All of those activities, those traditional fall activities, were gone. And trick-or-treating didn't look the way that it used to. And so as we were building the show this year, it was really important to kind of create sort of 2 distinct experiences. So Lost in the House, of course, is the indoor tour. Those for your hardcore, Halloween haunt fans that want to get the scare. And then the Jack-o'-lantern trail, which, as Michael said, is all over the estate, the 4 acres of estate. And we were also really excited. We did it for Unhinged, but it didn't get seen by a lot of people. We did a projection mapping on the front of the house, and it was incredible. And it's about a 4-minute show.
7, 8.
7-8 minutes. That's projected on the front of the house. And in fact, the show that they did for Unhinged was very similar to the concept of Lost in the House, where a guest may have wandered off on tour and the house may have something to say about that. So we're bringing that back as well. So when you end the Jack-o'-lantern trail, you end in the front gardens and you're able to watch the projection show. And a few other things that we've added on just recently. Walter just got back from a trip to the Stanley Hotel.
Oh, yes, the Stanley Hotel. It has always been a place I wanted to visit. And our good friend Aidan Sinclair, who is an incredible illusionist, he's done some shows at Winchester Mystery House, and he had a residency on the Queen Mary. But with the Queen Mary temporarily shuttered, he set up shop at the Stanley Hotel, and I went out to see his new installation called The Underground there, and it's just world-class magicians and artists performing. It's incredible if you're ever in that area. But I'm pleased to announce that Aidan Sinclair will be coming back to Winchester Mystery House and doing a series of all new shows the week of Halloween. So if any of you have seen him, I'm sure you would tell your friends. He's phenomenal. So we're really happy to have Aidan back.
I think we have a clip for that too.
When people think of ghosts and the paranormal, they tend to think of dark things, scary things. So many legends that have been built around this place. You can only imagine the darkness that could be conjured up.
Yeah, so we're so excited to bring Aidan back. And I think of one more clip, I wanted to show you guys a little sneak peek of our projection show as well. That's a very sneak peek. So, as we said, All Hallows Eve is the overarching show this year. The indoor tour, Lost in the House, we're super excited about. We're so grateful for Riley and Michael putting that together for us, and we're doing installation now. First night is September 10th. Tickets are on sale now, and I think that's it for us. We were going to try to leave a little bit of time for questions if anybody had any, but I understand we don't have microphones, so if you have a question, you're going to have to stand up and shout.
We'd be happy to answer questions, and we hope that you all come visit us. I mean, coming out of the pandemic, it hit us hard, just like it hit all of you, but you are our people. You understand the place and appreciate it, so we really hope you all come see us for Halloween. And yeah, we are happy to do any questions if any of you have any, or you could just come find us on the show floor. We'll be around.
but I wanted to know how complicated was it to do the jump scares in that Winchester house?
That's a Michael question. Go for it, Mike.
Yeah, because we take guests through in groups, you don't get that kind of individual, way of, you can, scare one or two people at a time. So you have to really kind of figure out how to scare 12, 16 people at a time, which can be a little challenging. So we have a couple of those in the house. I think we've done pretty well, just timing-wise. The overall plan and goal was really just to make you feel on edge. So for that hour that you're in the house walking around, I want you looking over your shoulder and you think you saw something, and we've designed it to where there's even little things that not everyone's designed to see. So maybe this scene will play out, or you'll see a little thing out of the corner of your eye that maybe one person in your group might see, but the other person won't. So you'll talk about it after the show's over. So I think we've done pretty well, and of course, we'll see how things flow, and we'll fine tune it in future iterations.
Today's show is produced by me, Philip Hernandez. I also recorded this session live in person at Awaken the Spirits in Pasadena on August 14th, 2021. Post-production by David Swope. Stay up to date this season with our free weekly newsletter. Sign up at hauntedattractionnetwork.com. We're counting down to Halloween with daily podcasts and our 61-day Hauntathon. Our Hauntathon is made possible through generous support from Gantom Lighting and Controls. We'll see you back here tomorrow and every day until Halloween.
This is a Haunted Attraction Network production.